All right, I want to ask you right now, who and what defines normal, right? I mean, let's really take that in. The one thing I want you to know, if you are here right now in this moment, it is because A, you are not alone, and B, you are not crazy. What you are is adapting to ascended sanity or density sanity. And as you move through those two very fascinating experiences of being in this world of potentiality, well, all I can say is welcome home. Because we are right now in a battle for the dominion of your brain. And I want you to take that in, a battle for the dominion of your brain. Yeah, we've got a lot to cover today, and I am Master Lady Kira Ra right here at Expanding Consciousness and reminding you that this is your library, this is your encyclopedia, this is the place where you can come and give yourself the gift of searching through a myriad of subjects and topics all about the emergence of consciousness itself. Whew, let's stop and take a breath on that, right? Because this is a big episode. Who and what defines normal? Even as I share that with you, what are you noticing? I mean, sincerely, what are you noticing in your own experience right now, in your own heart, in your own sense of breathing? The word normal comes with it this heaping, helping extra dose of everything that has ever been told to you, absorbed by you, believed by you, interfaced with you. All of that comes into the totality of the essence of the awareness, the experience, and most importantly, yes, the choice of what is normal. Now, as we sit here right now, we remember, wait a minute, that's right. What is normal? You know, one person's normal is another person's insane. And that is what is so powerful, really powerful here. You know, I'm reminded, I'm giggling here, guys. I'm going to share a story with you. It's kind of a fun story. Shri and I were, people that were presenting on a cruise. We were appearing on this cruise. And I will never forget that, Shri Ramka and I, when we get dressed up and when we go on stage, when we would be out in front of people, we wear our sacred garb. And our sacred garb is usually includes a lot of sequins and a lot of other beautiful things that remind us of the illuminated presence we are. And Shri and I were on our way to dinner. We were walking down to the elevator, I had just come from our room there, and the doors opened on the elevator, and there were these two people, this beautiful couple standing there. And it was hysterical because, Shri and I were both, he was a little over 6'1", I'm about 6 feet in my heels. So we walk onto this elevator, and the woman literally physically shrinks back into the elevator. But the man, I love this, I'll never forget it, looks at Shri and I and says, "Can I just stare?" And I want you to really breathe that in because Shri, of course, did a pirouette. I spun around myself. And the gift was that their definition of normal, that what you should wear to dinner, the clothing, the way it should look like, the colors that you're allowed to wear, the way that your hair should look, the way that your beard should look, the way that your face should look, was so in the face of their experience of normal that in that 1 minute, and it was just so brilliant. It was one of Shri and my favorite stories to tell, because in that one woman, when she shrank back in the face of what her experience of normal was, he came forward and said, "Can I please engage?" And that's really the gift. It is that ability to engage, the ability to actually say, you know what, I want to be a part of this. I want to understand you. Because what is normal is really when we relax into the divine trust and the gift of that which we are, beyond fear, beyond doubt, and beyond hesitancy. Breathe that in. Beyond fear, doubt, and hesitancy lies the freedom of your experience of what the normal is that you are. Whew. Yeah, let's breathe that in for a minute, right? What does that really mean? Well, what it means is that your level of consciousness is your veil. And so within a level of consciousness, you are always going to have the accepted norms, the accepted way of being. That's certainly why we have what people would consider to be anti-anything. Nothing is anti because that which is normal is merely a fluid experience of your highest self. So let's go back. Let's go back. I want you to think about that for a minute. So bringing your hands to your heart right now, just breathing in a deep Ave Sa breath. Let's breathe in a nice Ave through the nose. Exhaling, letting that smile come forward and really relaxing into that. If you are holding your heart, whether with your hands or just simply with your own essence of being, let go of the word normal when it comes to who you are. Just start releasing that word, number one, first and foremost, because with that word comes all these attachments to shoulda, woulda, and coulda. Normal means I should have done this. Normal means I could have done this. Normal means what? And so when we start comparing, and comparison energy, we know, is that which cuts us off, right? The minute we compare, contrast, we kill our own vision and our own dreams because we activate that which is less than. So letting go of competition, right? Letting competition go out the window, we free ourselves even more. And in freeing ourselves from competition, we begin to notice that tied to competition was greed. And that the energy of greed, when accepted as normal, stabilizes the energy of competition, thereby eradicating self-trust and absolutely insisting upon conformity. And in that conformity, as when we have a way that we can teach young children, right? When young children are able to be out in a field, here at Tosa Blue Mountain, we teach them through nature, we teach them through experience, we teach them through so many different beautiful gifts. Outside that field of that normal conformity, which is another way to teach, you're going to sit in this desk, you're going to do this, you're going to do that. Outside of that field of accepted normal is another normal. Because to all these children, this is just as normal as being over here sitting at a desk saying, study, learn this, and regurgitate. Both teach. Both are offering a sense of normal. To the student in that classroom, that is normal. And who or what defines that? Really breathe that in, because I'm sensing by now you're really going within yourself, and I really commend you for that. Because to really go within and go, wait a minute, let me take a look at that. Let me pay attention to that. Let me consider that perhaps if I can open a little more, if I can relax my heart into trust so much more, if I can give myself the opportunity to call forward a smile as a response to that which is happening around me, then perhaps normal, as it is constrained in the box or the jail cell of conformity, relaxes into the blessing of being. Take a breath on that. To relax into just being. When we gaze deeper again at this, when we look deeper at this and go, wait a minute, Carrie, you talked about who and what defines normal. What is normal? What is this ascended sanity? What is this density sanity? What's going on here, Kara? Oh my God. Okay. Take a minute and just slow down on that. So let me first share with you that what is density sanity? Let's just take a minute. Let's just take a diversion for a minute. You might want to pull out your pencil on that one. Not if you're driving, but let's just really pay attention to this. So what is density sanity? We first started writing about this back in 2012. You Have a Choice, our book back then, because density sanity is the moment of where everything that you are, you do, you say is really a byproduct of a group think of accepted value systems and norms, language patterning, ways of living. And around this globe, you see many different variations of that. One person's normal, when I am sitting in the Amazon with elders who are eating totally differently and dressing totally differently and speaking totally differently, that is normal. That is their normal. Who am I sitting in that moment trying to tell them that what they're doing is not normal? Because that is the byproduct of everything that they are. And in that byproduct of all that I am, frequently through the utilization for these elders specifically, and some of the others I've worked with, through the utilization of sacred medicines and sacred ways, They expand in ways of consciousness that are so far beyond the density sanity ability to comprehend that all someone in density sanity sees is someone in very poor clothing who might be missing a few teeth, that in their world is so far out of their normal that how could that person possibly carry extraordinary kindness, compassion, love, wisdom, and presence? Consider that. So as you're considering that, let me give you a fun little task, okay? Before you connect with me again next week, I want you during this week, go out and just sit in a really busy place. Just go somewhere. Just go somewhere that's really, really busy and just go sit there. And as you're sitting there, how many aspects of normal are walking by you? Just like, sit on a park bench and just notice all the normal that's right out in front of you as you're on that park bench. And then notice what aspects of all those visions of normal are causing you to judge, causing you to smile, causing you to possibly take a second look, causing you to feel whatever you are feeling. The gift of this practice is that as you are sitting there, as you are on the park bench, as you become the witnesser, you excite and bring forward within your ascended presence through multidimensional awareness and consciousness. And that happens because you're on the park bench, consciously aware that you are there, really paying attention to every single unique being, human, animal, natural world, sky, matters not. Every single thing that your eyes see or your senses feel is having its divine experience of normal. And to be there as the witnesser of that, to be consciously calling in that aspect of yourself to hold in that presence, assists you to start releasing the judgments and invites you to start embodying the ascended presence. Now take a breath on that. You might be saying, no, wait a minute, Kara, what does that mean? I don't understand that. Okay, so let me share a little bit more with you about that. When we relax, but rather than we just release, I always like to define it as when we surrender what surrender looks like, when we stop cutting deals with God. In that moment, it's that giant, it's the exhale. For dog lovers like me, it's belly up, right? It's that giant exhale that says, I am here. I am here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me. Guide me. It's when we release beyond all ulterior motive. It's when jealousy, greed, and competition are no longer playing into the field that keep us stuck in a sense of normal. To accept things as normal, to collectively co-create them into a sphere of a hardened sense of normal, is to immediately constrain the vast co-creative capacity of all that you are. To believe that your brain is only capable of a certain percentage, to believe that you need outside assistance to be you. To absolutely dive into density sanity is to dive into polarity. It is to dive into the mystery formula, which is when you take fear, because we live in a planetary thought body that's based upon fear. So when you take fear, that's the first part of the formula, and you add to fear anger. Fear plus anger, you know what it equals? Hate. Fear plus anger equals hate. And when you have fear becomes the piece of the planetary thought body that starts spinning around into the group think. So anytime, let me give you an example. Here's a great example of this. You ever walk into a room and you're feeling great? You're like, talking to your friend, life is good, blah, blah, blah. And you walk into a room and it's like, whoa, your mood changes, your body feels different. You suddenly feel off balance. Or this happens to me frequently. I'll be sitting in a car or I'll be sitting in a room and someone will get in that car and the energy that they're carrying in that moment literally will throw me off balance. And notice this, and you may have noticed, you might be going, you know what, Kira, the more I think about this, I think you're right. I think I have had experiences like this, right? So whenever you have that type of experience, what that means is that you are right within usually moments where someone has had a high charged energetic experience, usually emotionally based, sometimes physically based, and sometimes the two together. But those are usually the two, because when you take the physical and the emotional and you fuse them together, that energy potency is like leaving hand grenades. And so you've just had an interchange, energies being sloughed all over the place. And this is important to remember, that we discharge energy, and what do we do with it? We just walk out of the room, and then the next person that walks in is like, why do I suddenly feel so terrible? Why am I suddenly depressed? Why am I suddenly angry? Why am I suddenly this? Why am I suddenly that? Well, it's because the energy field moves into this other energy field that's there, and without conscious awareness of it, this is how density sanity has a buffet. Because in density sanity, you become a sponge for all of this energy. And that energy starts attaching to you, and suddenly you don't even understand why you're angry. You don't even understand why you're overreacting. You don't even understand why suddenly you're upset. You just are, but you can't put your finger on it. Well, that's because you have been receiving into all of your energy field, and specifically into the chakras, density energy, which in this specific field of potentiality, this very specific field of potentiality where we count linear time in this way that we do, in this experience of it, what happens is that the energy is fear. We have collectively, as a consciousness in our infinite expansion, in this field of informed awareness, where we get these very cool bodies that we get to move and play with, right? In this very specific field, we decided to say, okay, if we're living in a field of fear, then what happens to consciousness? How does that work, right? And there's other potentialities where it's anger, and there's others where it's hate, and there's others where it's love, and there's others where it's joy. All of it, without fail, is being expanded upon. We, in this moment, and as we always encode all of this broadcast so that in whatever world, form, time, or experience you may receive it, we bow and honor that you were here and know that you are here. And in this potentiality of fear, right now in this moment, you have the opportunity to rise and look beyond the density sanity that keeps you plugged and trapped, and open your eyes through self-love, self-trust, knowing, and I opened up today and I'm going to say it again, knowing you are not alone, and knowing that you are not crazy. You are expanding through density sanity, which will do everything in its power to keep you. Everyone will be worried about you. You'll want to be medicated. You will be there. You name it. But density sanity doesn't want to lose you, because density sanity is self-propagated through fear. And through fear, hesitancy, and doubt, we always enslave ourselves. So relaxing out of fear, hesitancy, and doubt, the who and what that defines normal rises from within. It is you. It's you. It's your higher beingness. It's that which has been patiently waiting for you to come forward, sitting on this bench, gazing at all these beautiful aspects of normal as you fall back in love with the normal that carries you into the highest presence, the highest success, the greatest expansion of that which you are, as I am. I am as you are. We are at a moment where ascended sanity is nothing more than the relaxing into the bench, than calling forward that eternal smile that absolutely realizes there is no definition of normal. There is no who or what that defines it. There is the inner essence of you. There is the divine presence of all that you are, waiting for you to include yourself as you sit on that bench. How would you really dress? What brings you joy? How would you be in the world, giving yourself permission and freedom to accept that maybe you've just been normal the whole time, and trying to fit into that which is intended to keep you feeling uncomfortable? I mentioned earlier that we're currently in a war for the dominion of our brain. We entered this war in 2015 when humanity started the ascension escalator. And in 2015, and I put out the 7 polarities of free will, you can find that at shrinkira.com. And so when the 7 polarities of free will came out, in 2015, we started a 7-year journey where all of the free will energies, all of them would play out every single year. And if you go look at the chart, looking at it from hindsight, all of those predictions came forward, all of those energies. And at the end of the day, what are those energies? Fear or trust? That's really where it is. You cannot trust if you are in fear. And if you are in fear, then you absolutely are going to be repelling. And if you are in trust, then when fear rears its head, the power of the trust acts as this beautiful gift of reassurance to the fear so that the fear can relax and the trust can rise. Remember, trust and love are different sides of the same coin. Trust, love, they are the same energy. When you are trusting, you are loving, and when you are loving, you are trusting. And if you do not trust, you cannot ever truly love. And if you cannot ever truly step into that depth of love, and this is that self-love, that absolute undeniable knowing that sustains you through every single thing, it is that which cannot be broken. It is the recognition that in the power, presence, and active energy of unconditional love, you rise. Things happen because they are the right thing to do. The ulterior motive goes away, making the space for the new normal. Thereby, your brain cannot be taken. And that's why it's so important for you to really pay attention to what I'm sharing today. And this is why I wanted to bring this out right now. There is a rise through AI, through 5G, through addiction to technology, through moving away from connection with the food chain, through the inability to have great air, to the inability to be the blessing I have here at Tosa Blue Mountain. Go there, tosabluemountain.com, where there is zero air pollution. We're outside of 5G. We have literally, I'm smelling eucalyptus and pine all day and listening to the water run. This is that moment. Watch it. Connect with it. Come down here. Be with it. We are collectively in this moment at Tosa Blue Mountain building the new world community. People are moving here from all over the world. We are growing more and more food. We are coming together cooperatively. We are becoming a series of many interconnected farms and temple energies all around this beautiful country right now. We are rising and we are coming together at this round table, each one showing up with what they can contribute rather than what they can take. We are here sitting together outside of what would be considered normal. And within that freedom, the blessing of our new world, a world that sustains, a world that is filled with the energy of co-creation, a world that is free from the jealousy, greed, and competition, calls forward children that are learning through the freedom of who they are and the wisdom of all who have walked that journey. What is normal? It is an opportunity in this realm of fear to be able to be outside of that which would seek to limit your ability to create. When we call forward from our highest nature, when we create in service to the all, when we are free from the jealousy, the greed, and the competition outside of that which is considered normal, our eyes open to the possibilities and the potentialities that we could not see with our density sanity. Because density sanity serves us so well to navigate density. And for many, that is the journey and that is the gift. Each is having their exact journey. And when your eyes open to sit on that bench and begin to witness all of those other journeys, all of those beautiful pathways of normal, then you lift the consciousness and alert, call forward that eternal smile. And I want to give you a gift today. I want you to visit ShriAndKira.com. And when you get there, and it's soon to be MasterLadyKiraRa.com, I'm excited about that. And so when you arrive there, under the Self-Ascension practices, there is a practice called the container practice. And this is all free. I want you to learn that practice and I want you to use it. Because what the container practice does is it teaches you how to very quickly and very efficiently release that random energy. You know that story earlier, walking into that room and suddenly, why don't I feel well? Why am I angry? Why am I this? Why am I that? There is a way to help you through that. You do not need to suffer with this. Learn the container practice and then get down here to Tosa Blue Mountain and you'll see the worldwide container, which is an original Incan vessel that we work with all the time, receiving that and holding that space. Because in this moment right now, what is normal is you loving yourself. What is normal is you living your best life. What is normal is remembering that the law of instantaneous manifestation is what you are, the who that you are, and all that you are. I am as you are. You are not alone. You are not crazy. You are simply shifting into the experience and really lifting into the sanity of knowing who you are and affirming that with the grace and the gift of this connection right now. I want you to give me a comment if you're here at YouTube, Official Shri and Kira. Let me know what you're thinking about everything. Send me a question and visit ShriAndKira.com. I love you, and I am so grateful that you have stayed on this planet. It matters, and you are a blessing. Namaste. Thank you for joining me on Expanding Consciousness. Learn more about the Yoga of Self-Ascension at ShriAndKira.com, and make sure you're subscribed to YouTube, Official Shri and Kira. Remember, you are the gift. I love you and look forward to being with you again. Namaste.